Thanks for joining us on the Poetry Spotlight. Let's get lost in some beautiful writing. Today we're diving into a really powerful, almost shockingly direct poem. It confronts the crushing reality of loss. W.H. Auden's Funeral Blues.
Ah, Auden.
That's
Yes.
our Stan Hugh Auden, an incredibly influential poet. Born in England, 1907.
Studied at Oxford, then later moved to the U.S., became an American citizen.
Right. And he just had this amazing ability, didn't he, to observe big social issues, but also the tiniest workings of the human mind.
Absolutely. A master at dissecting complex emotions.
And Funeral Blues, well, the version we know best, published around 1938, it tackles one of the most profound emotions, that overwhelming, all-consuming grief when you lose someone you deeply love.
It really does.
So our mission, let's say, for this deep dive is to explore how Auden doesn't just, describe grief. He meticulously builds this feeling of total emotional collapse. And that desperate, almost impossible desire for the entire world to just stop and acknowledge this huge personal sorrow. It's more than just sad. It feels like a blueprint for a world falling apart.
That's a great way to put it. A blueprint for a shattered world.
So let's unpack this, starting, of course, with the poem itself.
Yes, to really feel its power. Let's hear it read through first.
Yeah.
Stop all the clocks. Cut off the telephone. Prevent the dog from barking with a juicy bone. Silence the pianos and with muffled drum. Bring out the coffin. Let the mourners come. Let aeroplanes circle moaning overhead. Scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead. Put crepe bows around the white necks of the public dives. Let the traffic policemen wear black cotton gloves. He was my north, my south, my east and west. My working week and my Sunday rest. My noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. The stars are not wanted now. Put out every one, pack up the moon and dismantle the sun, pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood, for nothing now can ever come to any good.
Wow, okay. Right from that first line, it just hits you. These stark, almost aggressive commands. Stop all the clocks, cut off the telephone, prevent the dog from barking, silence the pianos. It's this very direct, imperative language. What is Auden doing here? Opening with what feels like this desperate plea to control the uncontrollable.
Well, what's truly fascinating, I think, is the sheer audacity of it.
No.
The speaker isn't asking politely.
No.
They are commanding the world to stop its normal rhythm. Clocks ticking, phones ringing, a dog barking, music. These are the sounds of everyday life.
Mundane, yeah.
Exactly. And the speaker wants them all silenced. It's this urgent, almost violent rejection of the ordinary. As if their personal grief is just so huge, the entire universe must pause for it.
Right.
And that muffled drum, it's not just a sound. It's symbolic, isn't it? It's silencing even the traditional sounds of mourning to get at something deeper, a more profound stillness.
Right.
Like trying to suppress any reminder that life just goes on.
It really feels like their inner world has just completely imploded, and they're demanding the outer world mirror that stillness, that sorrow.
Precisely.
But there's a tension there, isn't there? I mean, can the external world ever truly reflect that kind of intense personal devastation? Is this demand even possible, or is it sort of futile from the start?
That is exactly the tension Auden is exploring. Those initial demands, as powerful as they sound, are ultimately impossible.
You can't actually stop all clocks.
Right. You can't stop time. You can't silence every dog forever. So right away, it establishes a core theme, the deep isolation of grief.
Ah.
The speaker's pain is so overwhelming, they want it to become this universal, undeniable truth. But the world, just by being the world, resists. It creates this really poignant contrast between the uncontainable sorrow inside and the indifferent rhythm of everything outside.
Okay, so that sets the stage. And then this demand for universal acknowledgement, it just escalates dramatically in the second stanza.
It really does.
The speaker imagines airplanes circle moaning overhead, scribbling on the sky the message, he is dead, and even wants public doves with crepe bows and traffic police in black cotton gloves. It takes the grief from inside the house, the private sphere, to this grand, almost cinematic public spectacle. What's the significance there, moving from domestic silence to this huge global declaration?
This really pushes the boundaries of how grief is expressed, or how we want it to be expressed sometimes. The speaker's personal anguish is so immense, they feel it should be a global event. It demands recognition.
Yeah.
The image of airplanes, symbols of modernity, communication, moaning and writing, he is dead. Notice the capital letters, emphasizing the finality.
Right, like a headline.
Exactly. It's a stunning piece of hyperbole.
Right.
Not just a message, but a monumental, unavoidable decree. And then extending that mourning to public doves, symbols of peace, now wearing sorrow.
And traffic police, symbols of everyday order.
wearing black gloves. It's like the grief should permeate every single layer of society and nature. It's not just performative, I think. It's this profound, almost desperate cry for validation.
Validation.
Yeah, it's as if the speaker believes that if the world doesn't stop, if it doesn't grieve alongside them, then maybe the death isn't truly real or wasn't important enough. It needs that external confirmation.
That makes sense. And the visual imagery is just so striking. You can almost picture those planes, like you said, skywriting this stark message, a public billboard for private devastation.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder, are there other poems that try quite so hard to infuse the very atmosphere with sorrow? It also makes me think about, how often in grief we just want people to understand the magnitude, and Auden is expressing that desire writ large, like on a cosmic scale.
Absolutely. And that leads us perfectly into the heart of the poem. Because after demanding the whole world pay attention, Auden shifts focus dramatically inward. Stanza 3. Revealing the profound personal significance of this loss.
Oh.
He was my north, my south, my east and west, my working week and my Sunday rest, my noon, my midnight, my talk, my song. And then that gut punch. I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. What does this sudden shift inward tell us, especially after those huge public demands?
Yeah, that shift is powerful.
The stanza just lays bare the raw devastation. The person who died wasn't just a part of the speaker's life. They were their entire orientation, their whole sense of being.
My north, my south, my east and west.
Exactly. It means this person wasn't just a guide. They were the entire compass, the framework for understanding the world. They filled every moment, the practical working week, the quiet Sunday rest, noon, midnight, talk, song. It's this exhaustive list, emphasizing the absolute totality of their presence.
It's everything.
It is everything. And then that incredibly stark, almost childishly simple line, I thought that love would last forever. I was wrong. It's not just heartbreaking. It's the shattering of the most fundamental human idea about permanence, about certainty. It's this painful realization that the core belief in an eternal bond has just been cruelly disproven by death. The tone isn't just nostalgic, it's utterly crushed by finality.
So it's not simply mourning a person, it's mourning the catastrophic loss of an entire world. Their identity, their direction, it's all gone.
Precisely.
Which makes those earlier demands for the world to stop feel less like maybe a dramatic flourish and more like a logical consequence, even if it's impossible. If your whole world is gone, why shouldn't the world stop?
Exactly. It reframes those first two stanzas.
So how does Auden conclude this? In the final stanza, how does he take this personal devastation and blow it up into this full-blown collapse of reality?
Well, the poem concludes with this descent into absolute, overwhelming despair that goes beyond the personal, right into the cosmic.
Yeah. The stars are not wanted now. Put out everyone.
Pack up the moon and dismantle the sun. Pour away the ocean and sweep up the wood. For nothing now can ever come to any good. I mean, here the speaker uses just extreme exaggeration, hyperbole, to convey a sadness so profound it demands the unmaking of the literal universe.
Unmaking the universe.
Yeah. The romantic symbol stars, moon, sun, they're not just unwelcome, they need to be actively destroyed. Light, life, natural order rejected.
Yeah.
Because they represent a world that cruelly continues without the beloved.
So wanting to dismantle the sun and pour away the ocean.
It vividly expresses this sense that life itself has lost all meaning, all purpose. It's not just sadness anymore, it's complete despondency. Profound isolation where even the beauty and function of the cosmos are pointless. There's nothing left, no hope. No goodness possible.
It's this progression then, isn't it? From like demands inside the home to a public spectacle to this utterly personal devastation, and then finally culminating in this universal unmaking. A chilling journey of grief.
It really is.
So, okay, stepping back, what does funeral blues really mean for us beyond its incredibly powerful imagery?
Well, technically Funeral Blues is a classic elegy, a solemn poem for the dead. But it also feels very much like a dirge, a slow, mournful song.
Right.
And what makes it so effective is that direct first-person voice, it feels incredibly immediate, personal to you as the listener. It just pulls you right into the speaker's shattered mind.
And what's fascinating to me is how Auden delivers this overwhelming grief within a very regular, almost deceptively simple structure.
The AABB rhyme scheme, yeah.
Exactly, these rhyming couplets. Line 1 rhymes with line 2, line 3 rhymes with line 4. It's consistent, almost rhythmic, almost like a nursery rhyme or simple song. But that simplicity creates this really jarring contrast, doesn't it, with the chaotic, unpredictable nature of the grief itself?
It absolutely does. It's like the form suggests order, but the content is pure chaos.
Right. It highlights this unbearable gap between the inner turmoil and the sort of neat external form. And I think that contrast actually makes the despair feel even more raw because it clashes so much with the poem's own predictable rhythm.
That's a great point. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the poem really helps us understand that grief isn't just one single feeling. It's a whole cascade of emotions. It's a journey.
A journey, how so?
Well, it shows the isolating nature of profound grief, how your inner world can feel completely adrift while the outer world just keeps going, indifferent. The poem literally traces that journey, from demanding external control to revealing the internal dissolution to finally exploding into this cosmic despair.
From the specific moment of death to timeless meaninglessness.
Exactly.
And why should this matter to you, listening?
Well, this deep dive, I think, it helps us understand not just Auden's genius, but it offers insight to that universal human experience of overwhelming loss. It shows that grief can be so intense it makes us feel like the world itself should stop. It reminds us of the immense, almost foundational value we place on the people who become our north, south, east, and west. It gives words to a feeling many have, but maybe struggle to express. Yeah, the main message is pretty clear, isn't it? When a profound love is lost, the world itself can feel utterly meaningless, unlivable.
Yeah.
The poem captures that intense emotional impact with shocking clarity. It shows how the end of what felt like an eternal bond can literally feel like the end of everything. It's a stark reminder of our vulnerability, I suppose.
Definitely. And this poem, while it's specifically about death, it captures the feeling of any overwhelming loss so perfectly.
That's true.
The end of a relationship, maybe, the shattering of a dream, even the collapse of an ideal you held dear. It's a testament to how human emotion can feel bigger than life itself. So here's something to think about. How do we, as humans, grapple with that profound contradiction between our inner world screaming for the universe to pause in sorrow and the indifferent reality of the external world just carrying on?
The tension again.
Right. What does that fundamental tension tell us about the limits of our control, maybe, and the boundless nature of our emotions? And maybe what can we learn from how Auden masterfully articulates this inner chaos about navigating our own moments of despair?
Heavy questions. Worth pondering.
Well, that's all for today's deep dive into funeral blues. Hit like for the poem that speaks to you, and subscribe for the ones yet to come.